No, I'm just going to say Ngima. I'm with Ngima.
Hello.
What's up? Wow, you're from them Cloud Kids. You know, I was just talking to you about how creative them Cloud Kids are.
Right.
And the last event y'all had, what was the name of it?
Peace on the streets.
It was awesome.
Right.
You guys keep doing that over and over again. So today we're going to just talk about following that heart, right? Heart, intuition. Um, what else could we call it?
Your being, your soul.
Yeah, soul.
Yeah.
Soul. So why is that important to you?
Well, I like to say that that we are balls of energy, we are souls, and what you see here is just a body.
Right.
So if you're going to travel throughout this world or going to age throughout this world, you kind of have to know yourself, right? And it takes time, it takes practice, but knowing that you have like something beyond the surface helps you. Like you could have your own moral compass just by understanding who you are. That's why I think getting in terms with your soul is pretty important.
Yeah, and I would piggyback on that the culture that we live in is usually does not really promote our spiritual well-being. I mean, they say they do,
right,
but that facade is really not authentic. It doesn't allow us to be authentic.
Right.
So you find out once we begin to be authentic, then we, number one, we enjoy our life more, and we tend to merge with other like-minded individuals.
Right.
And then we also create a planet, I believe, that is has the kind of equality and hope and peace that we truly believe we should have. Now, how do people tap into their intuition? Because some people always say, what's my intuition? Yeah. Instead of my thought, what's my intuition versus my heart? I mean, how would you explain it?
That's a good question.
I'm going to help you if I can.
Well, sometimes it's not really about like finding it really. You might be seeking something, you know, like when you're in love, you know, you might be seeking a partner and you feel it here, but you know, your mind
be, you feel
it here, your heart, you know, but your head might be telling you something else. So, you know, finding that balance of like, you know, which voice or which feeling you want to tap into more.
Yeah.
Sets something.
Yeah. It's practice and experience to understand those voices because we have many voices, and it's important for us to understand what voice is speaking to us.
Right.
Is it your heart?
Right.
Is it your mind? Is it mom? Is it dad? That repetition that you've heard over the years. Is it one of your peers? Is it one of your friends? And I would dare to say that a lot of people that are even listening to this YouTube, the voice they hear, they never hear their own voice.
That's right.
And that's scary. You gotta hear your own voice, because your own voice a lot of times is speaking, but it's muffled because there's so many other external voices.
And I love that you said that you have to hear your own voice, because sometimes,
I like that.
Nah,
that's something good come behind that.
It just hit home for me, like
it's like James Brown.
Like
yeah. Right.
Some people think that, you know, you gotta find yourself outside.
Yes, come on now.
But everything is here, and it's nothing new. Like, it's nothing new. You've always grown up with yourself. You've always grown up with your soul. You've always grown up with the voices. So it's not about finding it. It's about tapping into it. It's about being clear about it. It's about reflecting on it and putting good intentions into it.
Yeah, I would add that when we were babies, we had no worry. I mean, we came to this earth, or we come to this physical earth, and we never worried about whether we were going to eat, or if we were going to have some place to live, or whether we were going to have water.
Right.
Everything was intuitive, was instinctive. We responded to based on our instincts. But it's only as we learn and we become conditioned, and then we start learning all this stuff.
Right.
But as you say, as we were talking about, we have to learn how to just be. Like you talk about the love, or you talk about all these things we want externally. It's like, oh, I want to do this, I want to be this and everything. But what is that voice telling you? Like, who are you? You know, what are you really supposed to do? And it's usually when you get around other like-minded people that you can still yourself, although you should do it on your own, but you can still yourself and realize, wow, those people have such peace. They have such confidence because they hear that voice. Because we're all so special. You know, we're really all so special, but it's only when we have that confidence in that who we are.
Right.
You know, regardless of, like you said earlier, regardless of this physical face or this body or if we're crooked, you know, but what about the spirit? The spirit is so strong.
And
we like build on each other.
Right, you know, I'm just like, and one thing that I love that like my organization, Them Cloud Kids, does is like, you know, we reflect back on nature. Like, we are the Cloud Kids.
Beautiful.
Our motto is that the sky is not the limit, it's just the view. And if you look at nature, like I see my family as my soil. You know, people with like-minded are my soil. So I'm gonna find myself, dig myself into that soil, invest myself in that capital, that energy that people have promoted in me or helped me rise up to where I am, like my family, my friends, people who uplift me. And when I dig myself into that soil, sometime or some place, I'm going to have to bloom and maybe grow my own bank. So
that's good stuff. I'm not messing with that. When you go into nature, I can't.
You know, we are nature. We're made out of pure substances and chemicals. I'm taking chemistry right now, and I've never enjoyed a class so much. Wow. This is just off topic, and it's so crazy because
it's not off topic.
Yeah, okay. So, sidebar. My dad's a chemistry major, and he doesn't do any chemistry no more. Like, he used to teach, but now I'm taking chemistry, and I freaking love it. Yeah. So it's.
Do you have you planted? Have you farmed before?
Yeah.
January? Okay.
I definitely
so you know, I mean, it to me, my spirituality took on a different phase. The last, I think, 5 years I've been gardening, doing, raising my own vegetables. And then, so when you understand, when you put a seed in the ground, but you're not always going to get the best plant unless you do all the things. And even if you do all the things, you're still not necessarily going to get that perfect green plant with the perfect fruit. So I begin to be able to understand better about all of life, especially my life. Because spirit and energy, it's all the same. It works the same way. You just have to understand it, and you have to be obedient to the rules of nature to get the result, a good return.
Right. And it takes patience. It takes a lot of patience.
Yeah. And I think to tie this up, to hear your own voice, to know your own voice, it takes patience. It takes patience to get to that space.
All in the bow.
What's that?
I just like wrapped the bow.
It's a good closing. So instead of peace, we're going to go. Grab the bow and just tie it.
Yep.
Peace, peace. Wow, that was good.